Okay, now, you next, right.
Are you a Stranger Things fan? What did you think about Bob's death? Did you think Bob's death was dark enough? Did you know it was initially much darker? Would you like to know Sean Astin's 10 best movies? Then stick around and watch this video to the end, as we will discuss the original death scene and Sean's 10 best movies. First up, let's explore, how did Bob die? Stranger Things fans have learned not to get too attached to the series' characters because none of them are safe from death. The Duffer Brothers have earned a reputation for introducing characters to the audience and then killing them off in the same season. Do you think the same? Let us know in the comments section. Eddie Munson, who died in the Upside Down while assisting the Hawkins gang in their fight against Vecna, was the most recent death that shocked fans. And another death hasn't been forgotten by fans, although it occurred much earlier in the series. Bob appears in season 2 as Will's mother's boyfriend. He's a sweet, nerdy guy to whom the viewers don't pay much attention at first, but he plays an essential role in helping the Hawkins gang solve the latest series of events that leads them to enter the Hawkins Lab to save Will. One of the things that endeared Bob to fans was his efforts to connect with Will, who was going through a difficult time in his life due to his connection to the Upside Down. Kind, humble Bob joins the gang in the overrun Hawkins Lab and has to go through the lab alone to restore power to the buildings and allow everyone to escape. Unfortunately for Bob and the fan base he had amassed, this was his final heroic act. He comes close to running, but is apprehended by Demodogs and mauled to death in front of Will's mother, Joyce. This episode's ending was unexpected and heartbreaking. Bob's character deserved much better than that gruesome death. To the fans' surprise, the Duffer Brothers later revealed via Twitter that they had initially envisioned a different death for Sean Astin's character, but that ending was much darker. So what was the original plan for the death scene? What would be worse than being mauled to death by Demodogs in front of your girlfriend while the building's exit is nearby? Well, don't go anywhere. Let's find out the original intention of the Duffer Brothers for the death scene. Initially, the Duffer Brothers intended for Bob to be killed by a possessed Will. Not only would this have been a terrible way for Bob to die, but Will would never have been able to get over the guilt of killing Bob, even if he wasn't in control at the time. After his bravery and kindness, fans can agree that dying as a hero was the way for him to leave the series, rather than being killed by Will, with whom he had made such an effort to bond throughout the season. Up next, what are Sean Astin's 10 best movies? Sean Astin has had quite the career. Few actors can claim to have successfully transitioned from cute child stars to severe and award-winning actors, but Astin has done just that. Sean Astin has starred in various genres, including comedy, fantasy, sports, sci-fi, and adventure. Trying to pick the top 10 films starring Sean Astin would be a fool's errand. He's made so many different films that it's nearly impossible to compare them. So on this one, it's best to listen to the experts. According to Rotten Tomatoes, Sean Astin's 10 highest rated films in which he's starred or co-starred are here.
Don't leave me. Where do I sign?
Right here.
Coming right up, which of Sean Astin's movies has the highest rating? The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, 2002, with a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, has been awarded Astin's highest rated movies award. In the second installment of Peter Jackson's monumental trilogy based on J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy novels, Astin plays Samwise Sam Gamgee, Frodo Baggins' loyal sidekick who aids him in his quest to destroy the One Ring. Again, Sean Astin's range is incredible and on full display here, as Sam puts his life on the line to help his friends and keep his group's hopes alive.
Because they were holding on to something.
So, what movie comes next? The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, 2003, gets a 93%. The Lord of the Rings trilogy concludes with the return of the king. Frodo, Sam, and the company face their most difficult challenge yet, as Sauron has reformed and is determined to end the rebellion that threatens his power. Sean Astin brilliantly delivers Sam's epic monologue, culminating in the famous line, "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you." Frodo would not have survived without Sam. Keep watching along closely. We're about to fill you in on everything you need to know about the rest of Astin's best movies. Which of his movies was your favorite? Let us know down in the comments section.
It will soon be over.
My lady.
Furthermore, what rating does The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring 2001 get? The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring 2001 gets a 91%. Sean Astin's portrayal of Samwise Gamgee first appeared in The Fellowship of the Ring. Astin has made a career out of playing the underdog who's never out of the fight, so Sam was a natural fit for him. So, what rank does Staying Together get? Staying Together, 1989, gets 80%. Staying Together was released when Astin was only a teenager. This film is about three brothers trying to keep their family together after their father sold his restaurant. After running a fast food restaurant for 25 years, Jake McDermott, Jim Haney, announced one morning that he had finally sold the family business because he hates working with chickens. This comes as a shock to his 3 sons and starts to tear the family apart because they anticipated eventually taking it over. Will the lads be able to restructure their lives and make amends with their parents now that they aren't large, carefree fish in a little pond, which was supposed to be their ticket to a prosperous future? This film is amusing in parts, but far heavier than The Goonies. Nevertheless, their staying together demonstrated some of Astin's range, showing that he was not destined to be a one-hit wonder. And now, we have which of Sean's movies is regarded as one of his darkest performances. Where the Day Takes You, 1992, gets 80% on Rotten Tomatoes and is regarded as one of Sean's darkest performances. Sean Astin worked hard for this role. He reunites with Dermot Mulroney, with whom he co-starred in Staying Together. In Where the Day Takes You, Astin is a drug addict living on the streets of Los Angeles, not a cute little brother. Astin's portrayal of Greg is one of his darkest performances, but it demonstrates to audiences that he could play much more than the lovable underdog. Coming up next, what movie is rated the 6th best? Rudy, 1993, 78%. There are 2 kinds of people in this world: those who cry while watching Rudy and those who tell lies. Rudy is one of the best sports films ever made, thanks to Sean Astin's portrayal of Rudy Rudiger, the diminutive Notre Dame football player with an endless reservoir of resilience. It's infectious to see Rudy bounce back after each setback, and the film's climactic final sequence makes all of his hard work worthwhile in the end. So let's explore which movie is next. The Goonies, 1985, got 75%. With the release of The Goonies in 1985, a large portion of the world was introduced to Sean Astin's dramatic abilities. Astin portrayed Mikey Walsh, the leader of a group of kids on a treasure hunt. Even as a child, Astin had a talent for portraying a character who compensated for his lack of size with sheer determination and boundless optimism. Many child actors fail to make it after their big break. However, not Astin. Next, there's Woodlawn, 2015, 73%. Sean Astin returns to the football field once again to make fans happy cry. But instead of playing for Notre Dame as he did in Rudy, he plays a chaplain who counsels an Alabama high school football team dealing with the effects of racism on and off the field. Astin's character, Hank Irwin, preaches unity and helps the team realize the folly of their quarrels, resulting in success on the field and in life.
Sam, you get out there and you shut them up. Come on, get it done. Come on.
Lastly, we have Memphis Belle, 1990, 67%. Astin plays ball turret gunner Richard Rascal Moore in the World War II drama Memphis Belle. Usually, Astin plays a nice guy, but not in Memphis Belle. In this film, he plays an obnoxious young man who enjoys making fun of other crew members. He also considers himself to be a bit of a tomboy. Astin doesn't get many roles like this, but he's still effective as this type of character. Alright, that's it for today's video. We hope you got some information out of it. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments section, and thanks for watching.